All right, brothers and sisters. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties earlier. That was my bad. I ended up going down to school to work on my crops. I had to go check my crops after we had that little cold snap. And yeah, it was massive technical difficulties over there. So we had to end up regrouping. And now we get into the class right now. Wait for a few more people from the What Did I Miss crew. You know, right now we need to hit some Each One Teach One and hit the like button, because it's clear that we having a bad hair day on YouTube once again. Things going good though. Put some beans and some squash in there today, and some spinach. Jason, what's going on? I got some stuff lined up tomorrow. We're going to be on at 5 o'clock. Thursday, of course, we fall back and let Sunyas do what he do. And then Friday, we got some stuff planned too. Some different brothers going to come on and make some presentations for us. Shaquem, did you check the GoFundMe? Let me check it. All right. Shout out to all the brothers that's supporting that. That's at 516 right now. So we are to the races with that. Born Magnetic, Halftime, Peace to the Gods. Yeah, we had 516 with the GoFundMe, so that's looking good. If we just keep doing that how we're doing it right now, we'll see some progress in no time. Josh Sim said he's been watching The Matrix through new eyes. You wish you would have took the blue pill now, don't you? Brilliant elevation, knowledge born. So yeah, we're going to deal with some simplicity today, because we've been up in the 140. We've been up in the clouds for a little minute. Before we even, because we're still waiting on the What Did I Miss crew. Do we have any questions right now? Where's everybody with their lessons? That's another thing too. See, we was much more, when we in the classroom, we lock in a lot more. Yeah, brilliant elevation, some things though, brilliant elevation, you got to look at the history You know what I'm saying? It's a certain history of charlatanism and con men. So some things we're gonna have to show and prove so that everybody can see the light. So halftime is on the bill of destroy degree in the water 40. I was born said the knowledge degree in the 1 to 40. See, when we go out there and walk the land, billion elevation said 120, but been slacking since my father passed. I mean, that happens. That's about the balance of life. You understand what I'm saying? Perfect is an adverb. I'm not sure how it's classified in the dictionary. You understand what I'm saying? But see, to perfect is a verb. You understand what I'm saying? So see, perfecting is something that you do. It's not just something that you are. This thing is perfect. You see what I'm saying? Because we know that time continue to change. You see what I'm saying? So, in each time when those changes come about, how you gonna remain perfect unless you constantly remaining in balance, inside and outside. Shasim said he's decent with the 1 to 10. Haven't started on the 1 to 14 yet. Practice saying it in the mirror. Practice your Brownsville method, and you'll get it down pat. Yeah, yesterday, we've been having some good ciphers. As you said, he got a lot of truth on cap, ready for his universal flag. That's always been a thing to me. How brothers say that they know 120. Born Magnetic said the GoFundMe is the best thing you could have come up with. I mean, it came up out of the room. You know what I'm saying? That's the result of putting heads together. So you got any so you completed the 1 to 10, Jasim. You got any questions about the 1 to 10? He said, I thought, yeah, this is the civilization class. What happened is I was down at the school today working on my crops. And then I was gonna do the class from the school. I actually came on, but it was so much technical difficulties that I just waited until I got back. I gotta have all my equipment now, whatever it is. I think I broadcast too much for. I think I like my bandwidth. I use it up or something on some of these programs. I don't know what it is, but yeah, this is the civilization class right now. We dealing with what degrees people have been progressing to. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this in a amount of months where, some brothers should be coming up on 120. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get, that's what happens. Sometimes people start thinking it's a certain type of party. We just coming together philosophizing or, doing music or burning trees. And now, we building. You're right about that, Born Magnetic. 100,000 and above. So Josh M said, why does the 3 and 4 repeat? Brilliant Elevation said, I was thinking some of the brothers should have a friendly competition. I know State of the Art and True Self are on the 1 and 14. Who will finish first? It's funny that you mentioned that because I was speaking the other day with a brother that I grew up with, and he's a big reason that, I wouldn't say I learned 120 because of him, but yeah, me and him, that was a competition right there. Like, I'm talking about every day. Like, when you say a degree a day keep the devil away, no, a degree a day kept him away. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a brother who literally, if when we came back to school every day, that was you got that degree yet? Yeah, I got it. There would be times that we would go and learn that degree word of mouth, like without even going back home, just so that by the end of the day, you can say, yeah, I got that on cap now too. And we battled all the way from like the 1 and 36 to 120 lessons. That was my brother, right? He is my brother, you know what I'm saying? But just saying that at that time when we grew up together like that. But you were saying, why does the 3rd and 4th repeat? In the question, the 1 and 10 was written in 1931. The 1 and 36, 1934, 1 and 14, 1933, 1 and 40, 1934. But nah, you got a different one. You got a different one than I got. Wise Son, Divine Truth. Halftime. You said you got a question? Everybody that just came in, this is question time right now. If you got any questions about the degrees you're studying right now, the last days we've been going through a lot of science in the 1 and 40, dealing with a lot of things. So, we're seeing where everybody's at right now. Well, Magnetic said, Born Everlasting is my black seed. I was up for 2 days straight. Hey, man. Great elevation. You been around Born Everlasting too, huh? What's the deal, baby? Baby. My firstborn, baby. That's another brother I grew up with, man. Born Everlasting. I grew up with the guy, man. I grew up with Born Everlasting. I mean, he was older, but Supreme Mathematics. Halftime said, "Are there any Muslims other than righteous?" I beg your pardon. I've never heard of. You got any right here? Mine says I've never heard of one. But yeah, what's the question? Jasim says colored people twice in the question. I drew it up on the universal day of the past month, thinking it might be on point, might be to point out the wrongness of calling us colored when we had to use colored bathrooms. Well, that's the science of the degree itself. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The third degree doesn't say anything about colored people, but that is the science of the degree, is that at that time, the original man was being referred to as the colored man. You know, you got to remember that this is all during the time, you know, when they're still putting their little chart together with Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon and all those things of that nature. So, you know, to a certain degree, you know, you gotta look at it from that perspective. You know, it's written in 1931. So, you know, they're at that time, they're saying that black people came first, but they really was related to monkeys. That man in the higher faculties, right? The thinking aspects of man, right, developed in Europe. This was the thinking and the scientific theory at that time. So, you know, just in general, when you're dealing with that degree, yes, to set that perspective straight, but I'm not sure what you pointing out right here in the degree. Heinz East came in, halftime said all 17 plus million and everyone was supposed to be righteous. That one was a sticking point for me. Well, it says, do you mean to say some of the 17 million do not know they are Muslims? That's what the degrees that come after that is saying. So if they don't know that they're Muslims, right, which is a good segue into, you know, today, right? If they don't know that they Muslims, see, through my knowledge, you see my wisdom. See, through what I know, right? You're gonna see what I do and what I say. So even when we say, you know, the original man with proper knowledge of himself, whose righteousness is inkinetic and not just potential, is God. Universal. Halftime said to whoever had the question about original, also at that time, it wasn't long after the NAACP was established precisely. So this was the common knowledge that was out there. You see what I'm saying? You know, and you gotta realize you're dealing with people that, you know, many of them is just coming off the plantation. So, you know, when they arrive in these big cities and you see how many Europeans it is, you know, and you have no knowledge of your history, right? Of you know where you came from and how you attach to everybody on the planet and how everybody on the planet is attached to you. You know what I'm saying? Then you under the impression that you outnumbered. So you're willing to allow individuals to come and burn a cross on your front yard because, in your mind, the odds is, infinitely against you. So the 1 in 10 in general is to put things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Even when you deal with Christianity is 551 years old, that's not what we taught in the Christian world. We taught that these things have been happening since the beginning of time. Jasim said, I looked it up, and there's like 30 million said African Americans in America now. Does that get updated? Is the population to say the knowledge of God's equality through the ciphers is in the original people in the wilderness? Yeah, see, you draw that up mathematically. You see, you got to remember that 120, the entire 120 is at the date of that writing. See, it's supreme mathematics that allows us to renew that history. That everything in 120 is at the date of that writing. Now, this boy said, yeah, at the time of them writing the 1 in 10, they said it was more evolution between the devil and the original man than between the original man and monkeys. Yeah, yeah. That's all. But so we got anything else from anybody else? Any questions out there about what you're studying right now? Calm Islamly. We're giving everybody an opportunity to build on something they might need a little light shined on so they can see the understanding clearly. Because, the last days we've been taking off going into 1 in 40 pretty much every day. Or, don't get me wrong, because I always point out how scholarly the room is. Everybody on the chat, so that I guess maybe y'all understand everything you've been studying so far. It's possible. Boom, magnetic. Yeah, no doubt. That's hopefully we get there. What did I? Oh, hold on. Let me put that in the. See, I know I'm an amateur YouTuber here, so I forget to put the links like I'm supposed to. Ask everybody to click like I'm supposed to. Ask people to subscribe. But I guess now's as good a time as anyone. Do the each one teach one and hit the like button for me. Because we got a lot of people today on the What Did I Miss crew. A lot of people. Halftime said, any suggested reading for better understanding of the 10th degree in 1 to 10? I don't know if there's one book. I would say, when you're dealing with the science of that degree, You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the history of the churches. See, the history of the churches is the history of the dirty religion that's being shielded. You understand what I'm saying? And through the history of the churches, you will see how, slowly this image of what Christianity was formed. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, from the Council of Nicaea to, Dante, the different popes, these are the people that introduce different things. You know what I'm saying? The Gregorian calendar, the Crusades. So I don't know if it's one book that'll tell you all of that, but I would say that would be where you could start your research to see that, this is a conglomeration of teachings that came together over time, but, that was used, for social and political means, but it wasn't Jesus' teachings. Calm is long. He said, I'm getting through the 1 of 14. Is the Muhammad and the knowledge cipher degree the same as the Muhammad and the born degree? Well, see, when it says Muhammad, there's a lot of people named Muhammad. So, so you got to draw that up, in that degree, historically, from my research, and the born degree is Muhammad ibn Abdullah. And the 10th degree is Mehmet II. He was the Ottoman that he was the leader of the Ottoman Empire when they destroyed Constantinople. And Muhammad ibn Abdullah, he extended the invitation to practice Islam to everyone. But see, we also, when I draw it up, I also see, in the 9th degree, that's Fard, is W.F. Muhammad. See, he did certain trading, amongst the European because he could. That was the purpose of him being half original. But see, Elijah Muhammad, he learned that he cannot reform the devil. And he taught the Muslims to bring in 4 devil's heads, the Muslims of the NOI. So, we have to draw that up, but I don't know, if you're speaking about historically, those would be the 2 individuals that I look for. Jassim said, also, every time I go back to showing and proving the original man, I go back to cosmology. Do you have a suggestion to help me get a better understanding? Well, how do you end up on cosmology? See, one thing you got to remember, right? When we're dealing with this science, when we say, well, when I say that there's no mystery God, I don't just mean that the person doesn't exist. I mean that all the mysterious powers, the secretive ideas about, the origin of all things. None of that exists. The magical powers to, smite people, or, all this lightning bolts out of your fingertips and all that. I'm saying all that's fake. That whole concept was given to you to make you think that it's something other than self. So I don't look for those, that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm looking for, showing and proving the original man, how do I get outside of self, or outside of, other original people? That's and understand what I'm saying in terms of just growth and development. That's what that's a religion thing that they do. See, religions, they explain, what happened, God did this and said that. And then they want to tell you, well, after you die and then 100 years pass or whatever amount of time, and Jesus comes back and all this and all that's going to happen. But when you ask them about right now, they can't tell you nothing. I'm got it right now. All that other, what I'm saying, whatever happened in whatever time, let whoever was there worry about that. I got enough on my plate with right now. Whatever's going to happen when Jesus come back, I'll cross that bridge then. Right now, I'm God. Like when my little sister back in the days, you want to talk about what the OE said we could do and what we can't do and what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, well, she's not here right now. Flailing snotty. Chasif said, I guess the problem is basing a certain amount of that 1 to 10 on theories that can't entirely be proven or even ancient religious writings because it seems spooky. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That you don't have to go to any of these ancient religious writings. You see, because listen, even in terms of, I watch Netta on his channel or whatever, right? Listen, when I watch the debates, one thing I'm always thinking, I got about 100% chance of being right here. Because, what I'm saying is that the black man is the original man. And what they do is they go on there and, they all saying that the black man is the original man. It's just a debate over, which people were civilized and which way first. So a lot of those things, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to look for the smoking gun. See, that's what the knowledge of self is. You yourself in the science that you manifest, man, from going, and going from knowledge to born. So that you actually see it. That's part of what I'm saying when I say, you can't memorize this knowledge of self. It's an experience. So that once you lived it out, it's not a matter, the person can't really debate me. Not about this, because it's not, that's like somebody, I mean, is every example that I'm thinking about is so ridiculous. It's like somebody debating you that fire burns or something. Like, family, I use fire every day to burn. You understand what I'm saying? You can come with all your scientific theories. You can tell me why it burns. You can tell me how it burns. You can tell me how long it burns. But The simple fact of the matter is that it burns. And I know this, like I said, because I've experienced it. I've burned things and I've gotten burned. So that's the, real science, man, that, you got to see with these degrees, man, is that, all the real answers is in us. All those people that existed at whatever times they existed back then, they had to deal with the same science, experimenting with high explosives. You see, once you experiment, you get experience. You know what I mean? See, experimenting is a part of researching. And when you research in that way, you gain experience to where, you know what I'm saying, when you first start dealing with the mathematics, you mostly dealing with, things that you hearing. You see how brothers is manifesting mathematics and you like, all right, boom, I'm gonna take the best part of that for myself. But then after a period of time, once you living out mathematics, right, you come more from your own experience. Do you come from off of any paper or, from what anybody told you? So, you gotta, hold on, let's get Supreme Man in too. Hold on for a second.
Peace.
Infinite Satisfaction. Yeah, hold on. Manola Music and Films. Why Son said, can you build on the power degree in 1 of 14? What's the significance of Jerusalem? I understand that Arabia in the city of Mecca is the best part. Can you build on that for me? What do you mean in terms of Jerusalem being like, I don't, what do you mean? Like, is Jerusalem a holy city or something? The significance, it tells you in a degree, is one of our brothers is buried there. You know what I'm saying? That's where, he manifested life and he's buried there. In more ways than one. You know what I mean? He's buried by the lies, you know what I'm saying, in all the different, uh, mysterious teachings that's done in that city in his name. Or do you mean like, is it some type of vortex of power or something? In general, you gotta realize that is no particular city. See, that area is Asia Minor. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been significant. You know what I'm saying? See, now it's the Middle East, and it's significant now for its own reasons. But during that time, this is before ships. Like, there was no international shipping. There was no airplanes and none of that. So everything that was moving had to move through the Middle East. That's the thing about Asia Minor. Asia Minor connects Africa, Europe, and Asia. You understand what I'm saying? So the exchange of goods, the exchange of ideas, the exchange of everything through the Middle East has always been significant. You see what I'm saying? One of the things that brought down the Muslim empires is, like I said, the international shipping. Once they could sail their own ship to India, right, then they didn't have to pay that middleman rate to the Arabs. Jassim said, does it still say said Nation of Islam in the question of the 9th degree and the 1 in 10? Now, it shouldn't say said Nation of Islam. It should say said birth record. The question said, in the knowledge degree in the 1 in 36, is that question pertaining to Masons, Muslim sons versus the original man in the knowledge born degree? Is that the original man who was Masons? Nah. I think I see what you're saying. Nah, you mean are the Muslim sons? Does that mean biological? No.
Peace, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
In that degree, it's talking about the total amount of Masons in a census for that day and time. Original ones, though.
Original Masons?
That's what I thought. Because there's way more than 3 million Muslims in the United States. That started in 1874, I think.
What started
in 1876? Well, the Shriners started in 1876.
Hold on, we got all on the business right here.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the gods.
Peace. The Shriners started in 1876.
Right.
So you think from 1876 to between 1930 and 1934, it was only that many Masons in the entire United States? I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Well,
they got it. Public domain.
What'd you say?
What happened?
I said it's public domain. I'm about to find the link for you. They got it on their website, the Masonic National Registry or some shit like that.
See, I think that's a specific kind of Mason, though.
Well, it definitely said approximately 3 million in 1933.
And that's of Masons?
Masons or original Masons?
Mason. It's talking about the Masons. I really think it's talking about the Shriners, because the site, when you look at it, it says that all Shriners are Masons, but all Masons are not Shriners. That's what it says, like on the site. And then you keep researching it, and it shows a timeline, and it shows a timeline with the census count, with the population count from the 1930s to present. I'm about to find the link. I'm about to find the link right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a specific kind of Mason. So word 66.
It's probably talking about the Shriners then, specifically.
Yeah. Word 60 say, can you shine some light on the Big Bang? I mean,
the Big Bang Theory.
Once again, you know what I'm saying? That's one of those signs where, I'm the God of right now. You know what I'm saying? In terms of you know, we know how to make life right now. We know how things come into existence right now, you know, and certain people have dedicated themselves to doing that type of research to taking things back, you know, but you know, at some point we gotta focus on right now. So, you know, the Big Bang is something that literally we can spend the rest of our life, you know what I mean, searching for that does not exist, you know, meaning answers about the Big Bang. You know what I'm saying? You know, now in terms of mathematically, you know what I'm saying? Everything comes from a point. Everything comes from knowledge. And through constant expansion of knowledge, you understand what I'm saying? Through accumulating the knowledge and then through expressing the knowledge, we see everything come to existence. So, you know, the Big Bang in terms of mathematics, but you know, if you know, in terms of, you know, hydrogen reacted with helium in this particular way or something like that. Now, I don't know. Musadik came in. The
Yo,
spirit.
peace God. I found that link.
What did it say?
I found the link. It's the link is the Masonic Service Association of North America, and it's on the stats page. The Masonic Service Association has compiled the following table of totals of Master Masons in the United States Grand Lodges for the fiscal years indicated. These figures are based upon MSA records and do not necessarily correspond exactly with those published by other sources. 1933, 2,901,758 members. Or let me 1932, 3,069,645. 1933, 2,901,758. That's a big decline in a year. And then in 1934, 2,760,451.
So it was just dealing with the Shriners then.
It says the Master Masons. That's what it says. The Master Masons in the United States Grand Lodges.
That's the Shriners.
Yes, sir.
So Word 60 asked the question about the 78 trillion versus the 13.8 billion. You really going high power today, Word 60. So you talking about the age of the universe that Elijah Muhammad gave versus the age of the universe that's generally accepted by scientists. You know, they both have their methods of calculations. You know what I'm saying? You know, the 13.8 billion, you know, we would have to sit down and see how they came up with that, you know, for me to really make a comparison on that. You know, the best thing I could tell you is one is in the Asiatic world and one is related to 2000 BC for right now. You understand what I'm saying? You know, those are two calculations from two different worlds, but you know, that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with the Chinese people, if you ask them, they civilization is 50,000 years old. You know, Indians too. You see what I'm saying? So there's different calculations out there. Bring elevation. Oh, that's a side rally. King Green. Alchem Salam. right, where we at here? Carmen Lumley said, how is the Arab trader to be understood versus the white trader? Are they both the devil? Yeah. You know, like I was saying the other day, you know, I like John Heinrich Clarke's definition that the devil is anyone who is in control of your hell. You know, and sometimes that's you. Knowledge of Allah came in. The law was cremated. The Christians said Prince Hall Masons. Nah, not Prince Hall Masons. Knowledge Born said a Muslim son and a shriner are different.
He said what?
He said a Muslim son and a shriner are different. Then he said Muslim sons are shriners. So I guess he had to expand on that for us. Great elevation. The Big Bang for me was when knowledge was born, highly explosive. While Sen said it states we take it back because our brother was buried there and the devil uses his name to shield their dirty religion. I see that as taking back your own mind through the knowledge yourself.
You know, the Big Bang. Remember the other day I was telling you, you know, all the atoms that's in your body and all the nuclear energy that's packed in them. You know, the Big Bang is you. The Big Bang is the original man, woman, and child. Your universe. It's like a big bang to people when they see the black man, woman, and child.
We gotta maybe Knowledge Born could come on and explain what he's saying. He said they wear the sword and their fezzes let you know what city they have been accepted to trade in. Infinite said, I always wondered about the sword that was put on the Shriner's flag. Yeah, see, the Shriners in particular, their origin is it got to do with something from the East. Like they started out as some type of party that was Egyptian themed or something. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember at that time, they was, I wouldn't say, you know, figuring out all the mysteries of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? But they was figuring out a lot of things. Remember, Napoleon was, you know, he went to war in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He conquered Egypt, and he brought a lot of scientists and historians with him. And they collected a lot of things, and one of the things they collected was the Rosetta Stone. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's a French guy that he deciphered the Rosetta Stone. And I think the Rosetta Stone is written in, I think, hieroglyphics. I think Hebrew and what's that other? It's another kind of writing that the Egyptians have besides hieroglyphics.
Sanskrit.
I just know there's the Medjugorje.
Nah, it was something else. But at any rate, when he deciphered the Rosetta Stone, right? and then you start noticing a lot of inventions. You know what I'm saying? All around that time. But at any rate, you know, all during that time, that's when they going in the different pyramids. They finding all the different pyramids and a whole bunch of different things. So they had some type of Egyptian themed party that these two dudes went to, and they started to
Peace to God.
knowledge
Peace,
born.
God.
Peace.
Peace.
Add on what he was talking about.
Okay. First, the first statement I tried to erase it. That was a typo when I said Muslim sons was not Shriners, because Muslim sons are Shriners. You know what I'm saying? Like when you do the knowledge to the Shriner, like they wear the sword and the flag when you look at their feds. Regular Masons don't wear that sword and the flag. So that's how you know. And if you look at a lot of Shriners on their feds, it has the name of certain cities in Arabia. So that's how you know which cities that they've been accepted to do trading in. And if you know the science about the Shriners, like that was you, right, Supreme Man, when you was talking about 1876, right? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I got everybody muted.
Oh, okay. Okay, Supreme Man, that was you that was talking about 1876, right?
Indeed.
That's how I got that science, because they're talking about the first shrine temple was made was founded in New York, and it was called Mecca, and that was about 60 years ago, from the time of the writing of the 1 to 36.
Right, exactly.
That's so I had, like I said, that was a typo when I said a Muslim son wasn't a Shriner, because they are the Muslim sons. Even when you do the knowledge to the born degree and the 1 to 14, and they tell you that we let them wear our flag and clean themselves up and come amongst us. That was the signs of them going higher than just regular masonry. And they got black Shriners also, but the black Shriners, they are not they gotta add Egyptian to their name. It's not because you know it's the Shriner. What is this? It's the Fraternal Order of the Mystic Arabian Mystic Shrine or something like that, right?
Right.
Okay.
The black ones can't go to the Grand Lodge and get the last degree.
No,
They barred from that.
They could be Shriners, but what it is they can't, because you know Shriners they already have an order of who's going to be the grand potentate after one is gone. So they already have an order, and like if they, I was reading it up about it. They were saying like if they allow the black Shriners to join them, it would be a problem with who would be next to be grand potentate, because the black people already got who they want, and then the white Shriners already have who they want. That's why they said that they don't share lodges, but it is black Shriners. But they are the Fraternal Order of the Egyptian Arabian Shrine or something like that. They gotta add something else to their name.
Right.
So we got a question right here from Infinite Satisfaction. Was the sword put there to remind them that they revealed the secret? And what is the secret?
Okay. The degree, we talking about the born degree, right? I don't know. Why does Muhammad make the devil study from 35 to 50? Huh?
The secret.
The secret is that we gave him this chance to come amongst us and clean himself up and come amongst us.
Yeah, that's the secret.
Yes, sir.
That's the secret. You know what I mean? Like somebody asked earlier in the first, I think it was John. He was asking, what don't the devil teach? And that was my answer to his question. That we gave him this chance to clean himself up and come amongst us. He makes everybody think everything he does is all on his own volition.
Mm-hmm.
But he don't like I always say, like when people say the devil deal with separation, the devil don't have the power to separate. He don't have that power.
So this is Trenton, New Jersey question right here. What was the name of the hospital at the end of Stuyvesant in the land of truth?
Mercer. Wait, no,
not
the
Mercer.
hospital in the Stuyvesant. That was the state hospital.
That's the Varun building.
That's the state hospital, right?
Yeah, that's the psychiatric hospital. It's just called Trenton Psych. It's just called Trenton Psych now.
Okay, I know it's called something else. It was a lady, something that they was calling it.
It used to be. No, you talking about the Katzenbach School?
No, not Katzenbach, not the deaf school. Where the people work at? Cause I had a friend that worked up there. They called.
I got mad family that worked there.
Damn, I'm trying to think. It was another. I heard another name for it though. It's named after that lady.
Oh, Ann Klein.
Ann Klein. There you
go. Yeah, Ann that's Klein. The name of it.
Yeah,
Ann
man.
Klein psychiatric facility. Why you ask that, guy?
So Jasim said you got stagnation. Now I don't know if you mixing up the 9th degree and the 10th degree. The 9th degree says birth record. The 10th degree says stagnation.
Yeah, in the student enrollment.
Why son said the Rosetta Stone is written in 3 scripts: hieroglyphic, Demotic, and Greek. So wait, what's Demotic? I think it's Greek is what I mixed up when I said Hebrew. I think it's Greek is what I should have said.
Yeah, what was that? Specific question for people from Trenton? From the land of truth? Who wanted to know?
That was Brilliant Elevation.
Oh, okay. Peace to the God. What's up, Brilliant? How you doing, brother?
Justin said, bro, would it be Islam the true idea born?
What's the question?
Is not in the answer. You probably overcomplicating yourself. You probably overcomplicating yourself. You to be on the 1 to 10, you overcomplicating, all these different things. Because I'm not even sure. Because it does say said in the answer in the born degree. Says the Nation of Islam got birth record.
What does it say birth record of the Nation of Islam? What is the birth record of said nations other than Islam?
Yeah.
I used to build on said a lot.
Yeah, Kareem just came in. Brilliant Elevation said, why did we give them a chance to come amongst and clean themselves up? Because that's our nature. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. Like I said, a lot of, our reaction to them and everything is based on the experience, of the last 600, 700, 800 years, however you want to calculate it. you know, from that experience, you know, we've developed certain tendencies, but, you know, to, you know, really deal with separation and treat them a certain way, you know what I'm saying? You know, if we don't want to deal with them, we put them out on the worst part. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, when we say that, you know, he's the God of devilishment, you know, that's the power we give him. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody, when we tell them, look, you go ahead, that's for you. You could be the God of that all you want. It's not that he's more powerful.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't teach that.
What?
God of devilishment.
What do you mean?
Like, brothers say that he's the God of devilishment. Like, he ain't the God, he's the devil. How you gonna say God of devilishment? So what's the antithesis to that?
What?
Devil of godness? Devil of godliness? There's no such thing.
God of righteousness.
Nah, listen to what I'm saying. God of devilishment is what you said, right?
Yeah.
So who is the devil of godliness? That's the exact opposite of that.
Well,
no, the devil not the opposite of God.
Two things.
Why ain't he?
Two things. First of all, I could name some people that fit that description.
Go ahead then. Go ahead. Name somebody then.
That's the first thing. But we gonna
You're terrible, God. You're terrible.
But what I'm saying is this: we got it, the universe, and the universe,
No doubt.
the universe is everything positive and negative. You know what I'm saying? But we choose to be the God of righteousness. Like we choose not to involve ourselves with negativity. So when you see the person who's excelling at that, the person who's the most high in that is going to be him, because we put him, that's the worst part. You do that. But his potential or kinetic can never go beyond, you know what I'm saying, being God of the universe.
Well, the God said that God, the devil is not the opposite of God. Then, show him proof.
Right.
Show him proof.
Okay. Well, the black man is God, and the black man that doesn't have knowledge of himself is not one of his nature. Right. Now that's the opposite of God. The opposite of God is the black man with no knowledge of himself. You can't be opposite unless you're the same thing. Even in arithmetic, if you're dealing with absolute value, you say, what's the absolute value of -7? The absolute value of -7 is 7. What's the absolute value of 7? 7. So in order to get to 7, whether it's negative or positive, whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, righteousness or wickedness, only you could be the God of that. Only the black man could be the God of devilishment. And that's why Yaqub made the devil. And he taught them to do the devilishment, because he was the God of that. You feel what I'm saying? But the devil himself ain't no God. He's a devil. And when he do devilishment, he's a devil. But he don't got to be a devil, which is why we gave him the chance to clean himself up. Otherwise, we got to, take his head off, because this man won't act right otherwise. So we gave him this chance to clean himself up, but he got to study 35 to 50 years. This was something that was really done. Like, yo, I'm going to raise you like my son. You got to be raised from 35 to 50 years before you can leave the house, because I got to make sure you go into society the right way. Now, to add on to what the guy was saying about masonry, out here they do symbolic masonry, symbolic shrining. They don't really take it literal as far as that sword over their head. Back in the days, that was literal. Now they take it symbolic, and they, you know, you got to pay dues as a mason for 50 years before you could become a shriner. It's a 50-year due, and they give you a certificate after 50 years of paying your dues that say you don't have to pay dues anymore, and then you get that city put on your fez, right? But to add on, or to go back to the show and prove, the opposite.
I don't really see that, but I'm listening. I don't really see that, but I'm listening.
Yeah, I
Go
mean,
ahead. Because you mix mathematics with arithmetic just now.
Nah, I said,
and you know mathematics is
different
than arithmetic.
I switched. I said even when you look at arithmetic, even when you look at it, when you're dealing with just supreme mathematics, the devil can't reach God. He can't reach this level. The black man, when he's doing the wrong thing, is worse than the devil, man. A black man without the knowledge of himself doing wickedness is worse than the devil, because there's nothing weak about the black man. This black man is strong, and he's doing wickedness to a strong level. You feel what I'm saying?
But listen what the God said. He said the God of devils. That's what he said.
And referring to the original man or the colored man?
Nah, referring to the colored man.
Right.
He said that.
I don't necessarily agree with that either. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not necessarily saying I agree with that, God. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, as far as when you said the opposite, the devil's the opposite, because I was listening and I didn't say nothing until you said that. When you said that, I said, nah, the devil not the opposite of God. You feel what I'm saying? God made the devil. God didn't make his opposite. He made, it's two pieces of steel. One has magnetic and the other piece does not. See, this piece without magnetic is not the opposite of the piece with magnetic. It just don't got magnetic in it. It don't even weigh as much. It don't got magnetic in it. So therefore, it can't be the opposite. It got 6 ounces of grafted brain. Original man got 7.5 ounces of brain.
But the process of that made it. Do the knowledge. The process of that. Like you look at a cold knowledge seed. Like one time I was in the tombs, right? And there was an original man who was from Sudan sitting next to me. Word is bond, I couldn't see his eyebrows. He's sitting 2 inches away from me. His eyebrows had blended into his skin color. The total opposite of that, God, is an Eastern European with blonde hair and blue eyes, God. That's the opposite.
What? Was he a civilized righteous man?
I didn't know the brother like that. I mean, we was just in the tombs together. I was just having a conversation with him. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about biochemically.
Biochemically, you telling me biochemically. See, listen, biochemically, the devil is definitely cannot be the opposite of the original man. When we dealing with the word opposite, listen, all right, I'm gonna break it down. Short and tall are opposites. Short and tall, right?
No doubt.
Left and right, right? Right and wrong, love, hell, or right, truth or square, build or destroy. There's relationships between these two things, but these are two opposite things. Now, when we dealing with the original man, you dealing with civilized or uncivilized, righteous or unrighteous, knowledge of himself or no knowledge of himself, the science of everything in life or no science of everything in life.
So you're saying that an 85%er is the opposite of God? Yo,
I'm saying, okay, I'll say yes to that. I'm gonna say yes to that. But what I'm gonna really say is, you and I was an 85%er before I got knowledge of self. I was young, but I was
not opposite of God though.
I was the opposite of myself, right? I'm saying, yo, I was the opposite of myself right now.
No, I don't see that.
Let me ask you a question. If and this might clarify it a little bit. Are you saying that on some level, to really say something is opposite, you got to be equal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
That's a certain degree.
Yes, sir.
Well,
So
the devil
has to be equal.
The devil is equal in his wickedness as God is equal in his righteousness. It's polarity. It's two polarities.
See now, look, Supreme Man. This may be why you don't agree with what I'm saying. He can never be equal to us in the establishment that he do.
That's what I'm saying.
We allow him. You see what I mean? See exactly what you said when you say, man, that if he's, I'm just saying he's the most high in that. When we say, you know, the original man is God and owner of the earth, but we give him the power to rule over the earth. So what's that power? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not on the level. That's what I said. It's not God of the universe. You know what I'm saying? You got certain people that, you know, when you go in that world, if you're dealing with that, but that's not the science of everything in life. You know what I'm saying? You got certain people, they the god of basketball. You know what I'm saying? You the god of that science over there. But you're not God of the universe dealing with everything in life, sun, moon, and stars.
You telling me? I mean, do we have to really chronicle the ways and actions of the devil, and then go and chronicle the ways and actions of the original man in the same time period to see that they are way more wicked than us?
Yeah.
When you say that though, right? We made the devil. The black Yaqub made the devil, and the things that black people are doing. They are doing the shit. See, they like the devil because the devil give them nothing. But they doing a whole lot of shit that's giving them nothing in return. They still waiting for that mystery God to come.
I'm saying,
you feel what I'm saying? Now, this is the opposite of what's supposed to be going on, is what I'm saying. Like people worshiping a mystery God is opposite of what they supposed to be doing. Now, the devil is not doing the opposite of what he's supposed to be doing. The devil is being a devil. This is what he is supposed to do. He ain't the opposite of righteousness because he ain't wicked, God. If you go weak and wicked, you are the opposite now because your nature is 100% civilization and righteousness. That's your nature, God, 100%. You see, if the devil start living righteous, which is what we do when we make him study for 35 to 50 years, and he becomes civilized and righteous, now he's the opposite of the devil. Azrael was the opposite of the devil. I don't know, brother. I don't know that man, right? But what I'm saying is a civilized, righteous, colored man. You feel what I'm saying? Coming in the name of Allah. That's the opposite of the devil.
I don't really want to go back and forth on it. I don't agree, though.
I would like to take up that challenge, though.
Yeah, we could take it up.
Yeah. Because, like, for instance, let me go first, right?
Everything has the opposite of equal reaction, God. That's just the law of everything.
Hold on what I'm saying, though. Gangs have taken out more brothers than the Klan could ever have imagined in their wildest dreams.
Right. Through the system of racism, white supremacy, yes.
Right.
Now, you can say,
I agree with you.
You can say whatever the system is. But I'm just saying that when you say, we measuring the devilish man.
I mean, see, the devil will put drugs in the community, but the black man is pushing it.
Yeah, but
So
why is he pushing
like
it? Because of economic. Because of economic racism.
God and devil work hand in hand. God and devil work hand in hand. These black people are in.
God and devil have no partnership. God and devil have no partnership, God.
Yo, we live on this earth together.
I'm not partners with the devil.
You ain't got to be a partner. We the father. That's the equality degree in the alphabet. We the father. That's dealing with equality. That's the equality degree in the alphabet. So that's saying that what? We shared all life. Anything that walks on this planet is something that we shared the planet with. You feel what I'm saying? We're not partners. Ain't no partners with Allah.
You just said that.
It's the arm, leg, arm, head. No, I didn't say it's partners. No, I didn't. I said,
God and devil.
Right. He ain't no.
God and devil work hand in hand.
Yo, why? Because we teaching daily. They teaching daily, man.
God, it's a system. That shit just didn't happen, God. It's a system put in place.
Did nothing happen? We ain't make happen, God. This our system.
This what I was taught.
This our system.
This what I was taught, God. Do the knowledge of what I'm trying to tell you. People say we made the devil. No, the dissatisfied people made the devil, God. The ones that didn't do the knowledge. We're not them. They fell victim. That's not us. See what I'm saying?
Nah. The wisdom born degree says they didn't fall victim unless they broke the law, and if they fell victim, the penalty was death. So
God, how did they get there?
Did not make devil.
How did they get there, God? How did they get there?
They were dissatisfied. They were the dissatisfied people that went with y'all.
Go a little further back. Go a little further back and tell me exactly how they got there, God. How they get there? How they even get on the island? How they get on the island?
How they get on the island?
Yeah, how they get there?
Right, boat.
How they get there?
Mean, that would be the best explanation for me. A boat. I mean,
no, not a boat, because they were dissatisfied. You know what I'm saying? They fell victim. When Yaqub, as a Yaqub, right. do the knowledge. As a Yaqub theory,
I'm listening.
As a Yaqub theory states, he went around telling people, yo, you could get more. You know what I'm saying? This ain't enough. Them the people, they fell victim, son. They fell victim. They was on some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not our lineage. We are not of the people that fell victim. We are the ones that would have told Yaqub, kick rocks, done. Get out of here with that. We ain't trying to hear that. Fall back. You know what I mean? So it's a whole system that's been put in place. You know what I mean? That's what I was taught, guys. I wasn't taught that I was of that lineage.
Nah, right and exact, guys. Like, when I say we made the devil, I don't necessarily mean us as this nation. I'm saying the original man, the black man, a black man. This is like his invention. It's like an assembly line was invented by the black man. And now the assembly line was used to do all kind of stuff. It's like the science of making this physical thing come into a material existence. It was done.
I got a good example for you. Pardon me. I got a good example for you. And I don't even really know you like that, but I know when that damn chicken sandwich came out, you ain't run to the goddamn Popeyes and start eating that shit. Right?
God, I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in 16 years.
Okay, but I'm just saying. Now those people that ran to the spot, They fell victim, God. They fell victim, God. Hard body. You feel me?
I feel you. Yeah, that's instant death. Instant death. It's mental death. The mental death is the real death. I mean, you right and exact. Hey,
if they wanted to kill mad original
people,
they'd have just put it in the chicken sandwich, God.
But I've been there though, God. Even though it was years and years and years ago, many moons ago, I've been there, God. I understand the 85% because I've been there.
You're supposed to. Right. But that's not the opposite of God. The 85 is not the opposite because they still have the potential to be God. Opposite means that which is diametrically opposed to. 85% is not diametrically opposed to because all they need is kinetic energy to realize their true self. You understand what I'm saying? They're not your opposite. They are family. We got to teach them. Now, the opposite is a destructive evil. I don't call them divine evil. Some brothers call them divine evil. I call them destructive evil.
Yeah, ain't
some brothers say that though. Right. Yeah, that's like saying, if you call a devil a divine evil, that's the same thing as saying the God of wickedness.
I feel you. That's not a term I would use. Listen, that's not a term I would use. However, if the guy used that term, I'm not, like, we could talk about it. However, I know, certain things we might not find an agreement about. So that's not really, just like the opposite thing. Like, yeah, he's the opposition.
Oh, my phone ringing.
Peace, sir. If I'm outside, I'm gonna see you in a second. All right, peace.
So that's what I'm just saying, God. He's diametrically opposed.
Cut off my earth had called.
Understood.
I was saying, as far as being the opposite, the original man. See, when he hears the truth and it sparks him, he's not opposed to it.
But listen, it's two kind of 85s. It's two kind of 85s. You have a destroy power and a build power. The build powers are not opposed, God.
I mean, somebody that's coming out of that, we could say you build power. He's coming out of that mind state.
Some of them is opposed.
Huh?
Some of them is opposed, though.
It is some opposed.
I'm about to give you an example. I mean,
but they still could be God, though. They still could be God.
God
can't be God.
They could still be. See, but the truth got to come out of somebody else's mouth. If the truth come to somebody and they don't utilize that truth, like, yo, I tell everybody at the same time the truth. All y'all heard it, and then one person out of this room said it back. Yo, peace God. Yeah, I like that. What's that? Okay, now I'm about to teach you something. Now these other brothers, they see me teaching you and we building and all that, right? But then later they don't say nothing to me, but they tell you, man, what's up? What are you talking about? Peace now? And are you not eating pork no more? This how it goes. This is the opposition.
Understand the correlation.
They opposing. Listen,
now,
this
cipher,
man,
God.
This is an experience that I know is happening right now, God. This is not something that I'm making up, like, as far as trying to make an example. This is an example of real life, true and living example of something that's happening right now, real time.
Whoever's in opposition, though, they can still get knowledge, right? They can still get knowledge,
man,
right?
Listen, yeah. And until then, they'll still be the opposition.
Now, can a devil, no matter how much knowledge he get, can he be God?
Not at all.
All right, then.
Not at all.
You answer your own question, then, God.
Let me ask you a question.
Indeed.
Is the black man without knowledge of himself God? An uncivilized, unrighteous black man with no knowledge of himself, who don't care about the science of everything in life, who ain't got no love, peace, and happiness.
No, he is not.
He's not God.
However,
what is he? Then what is he?
He's a destroyed power.
I'm saying, what is he though? Give him a description. Like you got two people on this planet. Is this black man a devil? Like if we talking about what the degree says, is this man a colored man?
He's still potential energy though. He's
still a black man.
He can get knowledge tomorrow. He can still get knowledge tomorrow.
Listen,
but
the black man is God.
Listen to me. Until he dwells in devilishment on a continual basis, like one good deed don't make a bad man good. One bad deed don't make a good man bad. So unless this original man, listen to me, unless this original man is like on some Clarence Thomas type stuff, then he could always get the knowledge of himself. He got the potential for that.
Hold up. He could, see, one thing you feel right there though is unless.
Hey, pause. Listen, I'm about to disconnect real quick, and I'm about to reconnect because when somebody calls my phone, it takes my thing off the speaker. So I'm about to disconnect and I'm about to reconnect right now.
All right.
Indeed.
All right, peace.
But one thing, man, that it appeared to me just now, man, is that, you know, y'all kind of searching for that does not exist, because there is no opposite to God.
I don't agree with that. Everything got an opposite or equal reaction. That's the law of polarity. It's always two poles.
Wait, God. So what's equal to God?
God.
Yeah, but that's so God is, well, then you agreeing with him now then. How is God opposite of God then?
I never said God was opposite. I said the devil was opposite of God.
No. You just said everything got an opposite but equal reaction.
No, I said or. Everything has an opposite equal reaction. Everything.
Opposite.
Or equal polarity. You can use the word polarity. You can use equal. It's the same thing.
Well, which thing?
You have light, you have dark.
Which things have an opposite but not equal polarity?
I don't know nothing that don't have an opposite or equal polarity.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. God have an equal, so God don't have an opposite. Allah is one, so how could you be opposite of one?
See, now you dealing with that. See, God, when you say that, God, listen, God, when you say that, that's just a different way of saying the same thing, God. Because if you say Allah is one, then why you say peace to the gods then? You know what I'm saying? That opens up a whole nother can of worms.
That's
theoretical speech.
No, that's actually not right.
I don't agree with that. We the gods. What do you mean? We the gods.
I mean,
so I'm supposed to say, oh, we just the Allahs? Now, come on, God.
Hold up. That's an oxymoron. That's an oxymoron. To say the Allahs is an oxymoron, God.
I agree with that.
So that's what I'm saying. Allah is God.
I mean, there is a reason why the supreme alphabet got Allah. The knowledge degree is Allah and the God degree is God. It's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying?
God, we speak English, God. It's got to be plain, God. We
speak English.
God, this is what I'm saying. In plain,
Allah is Arabic. If you want to be technical like y'all trying to be, then Allah is Arabic. Yes,
what's the etymology? What's the etymology on Allah?
No,
Allah, Allah, the one, Allah.
They don't have no etymology on that. There is no beginning to the name Allah.
That's not
All
true.
right,
That's
look it up.
that's what,
I looked it up. They say that.
But that's what the religion is going to tell you, God. It's La. It's Al means the. La is one. It's
one
the
is
one.
Wahid. I feel you.
What?
One is Wahid. In Arabic, one is Wahid.
God, there's many different ways to say different things in different languages, God. And if you want to be so technical to say, oh, Allah is one God, we ain't supposed, come on, man. We're going to say the gods every day. Let's be real with this.
You can't have it both ways, guys.
I'm not, you trying to have it both ways, not me.
How so?
Because you saying Allah is one, like we can't say the gods. That's wrong all of a sudden.
No, guys, you're the one. No, guys, that was your example, guys. You brought up an example.
You brought that up. You said that, not me. God, I did not say that, God. You said that. You just said that, God. I didn't say that.
One, God, did that not come from you saying that that's just like we say to gods? See, when I said Allah is one, all I said is that how could you have an opposite of one, God? I'm just talking about just in general, speaking mathematically, God. Polarity comes in when you get to two.
But there's different meanings to different things, God. Like you say, how can you have an opposite to one? Right?
Yeah.
That's just a different meaning, though. Like that ain't no definitive.
Oh, God, that's what it is, God. How could you have an opposite to one, God?
Well, we just gonna have to agree to disagree.
I mean,
it's
the same thing when you. No, I mean it's the same thing when you say knowledge of self. You don't see, and then when you say knowledge of self, there's only one self. There's not, you your own person, but there ain't no multiple selves. You know what I'm saying? It's only one self, God. There ain't
I don't get the correlation between, like, I think we're going to a lot of different tangents now.
I'm just dealing with the alphabets. I'm just saying, and I'm just dealing with the alphabets and just keeping it foundational.
Well, I definitely don't see the 85%ers. I don't see the 85%er as being the opposite of God, unless he dwells in devilishment on a regular basis.
What is the 85% doing? What do
Not
they do?
all 85% are doing that, though.
Yeah, but see,
I'm
God,
saying
you can't say unless. You can't say unless, God, when you're saying something like this. Because when you're saying unless, you're saying that it is true.
What do you mean by that?
When you say unless he dwells in devilishment. All right, so how do we describe dwelling in devilishment?
That's what I'm saying. What's devilishment? What's that mean?
A person, a activity that's destructive on a regular basis toward self and others.
And what would you describe as a regular? And what's a regular basis?
What you do most of the time.
I know, but what do you mean by most of the time? Like you saying like 7 days a week, or you saying like some every other day shit? Like because an addict is gonna smoke every day.
51% of what you do is devilishment, then you dwell in devilishment.
All right, I gotta listen.
There's many people, right, that fit that description.
Okay, and
so I'm saying that's like a hell of an unless, God. Like I'm saying that unless is different than regardless of whom or what. Like when I say, listen, the white man cannot be God of the universe regardless of whom or what. I don't care if he's Father Flegler. I don't care if he's John Kennedy. I don't care who he is.
Okay.
So that, I mean, that's a difference from when you say unless, God. When you saying that he's not the opposite unless.
Yeah, he's not the
Because
devil
you're
of the
dealing with
universe.
original man, though. How you think you got here? You wasn't born with this. You ain't your sons.
Right.
Just like I'm not.
I don't understand.
So when you was at 85%, you was the opposite of God?
Yeah.
Show and prove.
Well, I was the individual the same way I'm the individual now, right? That you know, I lead people in the right direction. I was the person that always had the plan when we was going to do some development. I was the person that introduced it. That listen, this is how we going to do it. You know, recruit other people into this.
Hold on, yes.
Show other people how to do it.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you know, the outcome of that was death, hell, and destruction. It wasn't life.
Well, I don't. For me personally, I wasn't. Even though I did bad things, I still had a good heart, and I didn't take things to the extremity of devilishment that I could have. There was something pulling me away from that, and that was the nature of being the original man.
Yeah, but see, you had that in your heart. I didn't get that till somebody reminded me. See, I was savage. I lost the knowledge of myself. See, I got good parents. They wasn't together like that, but I got, you know, my pops was gone. My mother, I got a great mother, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you, she did what she had to do, right? But at the same time, I lost certain things that she gave me. You know, like politeness. I got that back. I know how to be polite again. I had lost that at one point in time, you know, being angry, you know what I'm saying? And just not being right. You know, I could describe myself a whole lot of ways. I'm gonna just say just being angry for sure is one thing. Like, yo, I wasn't raised like that. My mother's not no angry woman. She's a pleasant woman. You feel what I'm saying? She's a gentle woman. She raised me to be a gentle man. You feel what I'm saying? But when I was young, I wasn't a gentle child because I was I don't want to say I was bad because I was just who I was. However, I wasn't doing righteousness, right? And I knew I wasn't. And that's see, I knew I was sick, and that's why I prescribed myself this law of Islam. I knew I was sick, and that's what made me study vigorously. That's what made me say, "Oh, I'm about to knowledge this, man." Like yo, the black man is God, right? And I seen some clean brothers. Like, yo, these brothers is clean, they sharp, they know lessons. I want to be like that. I was the opposite of that, God. And I still catch myself, you know, in certain things, but I'm definitely not that like I used to be. Definitely opposite as far as poison animal eater, slave of mental death and power. You know what I'm saying? Did not know who the original man was, the true and living God, or my own origin in this world, right? And I worshiped what I knew not what, right? And also I was easily led in the wrong direction and hard to be led in the right direction. I was that, right? And it's people that might, you know, my righteous brothers, including, might tell me, you know, catch me like, yo, you know, that's we here to check each other and keep each other corrected. So we keep each other sharp. See, Allah is one. Allah is one, like the God said. Because if I'm over here by myself and I might be slipping, I might be teaching somebody and end up getting pulled into their magnetic or something, because you know when you around the 85, it's either you or them, right? And then you bring one of your righteous brothers around, yo, what's that? What's going on? We checking things, making sure things are right and exact. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Now, that's peace, God. Everybody has their different journey to get the knowledge. I still don't agree with y'all, but you know, it's all good.
So
No, the 85 is not the opposite. In my estimation.
Okay, well, look at this. All right, listen.
Well,
let's be scientific. At this point, we got to be scientific.
Hold on. What is the opposite of God?
The devil.
Let's be scientific about all the stuff that we just talked about. All the stuff we just built about. Let's gather up the information and let's determine if you're saying that. I think you're really disagreeing with yourself, Supreme Man, because you said other things that would show and prove what me and the God is saying is right and exact. Right? So I'm trying to think, like, I wish I had a drawing board. We got to draw it up. It's like this. You said you agreed that the devil is not equal to God. And you said that, yo, opposite is the opposition. Okay. See, I agree with that. However, the only opposition is not the Caucasian. He's not the only opposition to the original man with knowledge of himself.
Nah, it's black devils.
Yo. So then the God pointed out opposites. When you're dealing with opposites, you're dealing with polarity, something that has to have equality, has to be equal to that which it's the opposite of. And
equal
we agree.
Equal in terms in an opposite manner, though. Not equal like it's the same thing. It's
we talking about the mental.
I mean, you just talking about anything. You talk about day and night. Depending on the time of year, they're equal.
Allah doesn't have an equal.
See, that sounds religious to me, God. I don't get down like that. I'm sorry, I just don't. That's not me.
So what's the equivalent of the original man?
Another original man.
Okay, is the original man without the knowledge of himself, who doesn't have civilization, no righteousness, no knowledge of himself, and doesn't want the science of love, peace, and happiness. Is that you? Is that the same? Is that equal to you?
All right. I would say no, but listen to this though. Is a person who does not want the knowledge of himself, but is a positive individual. Are they opposite of you?
I mean, see,
and you don't hear me though.
Dealing with it. That's when no, I'm listening. That's when you're dealing with equality. See, that's when somebody's on equality. See, that's when they got off the opposite level. That's when they stopped opposing you. When they say, yo, now I want to learn. You're not opposing me no more. Just
everybody
like the devil.
Everybody can't be a 5%er, God. That don't mean you're not a positive person.
Just like the born degree, dealing with the colored man that wanted to clean himself up. He devotes 35 to 50 years. He's devoted to this. Right? And then he goes through with labor. Right? But he's devoted, so he don't do what? So he don't get killed as quickly as the other devils who are not going under the study. Right? It's the same thing with the original man who's other than himself.
Huh?
I mean, for a lack of agreement, for the lack of which,
a devil that studied from 35 to 50 years.
I'm saying the original man who's God, an original man who's God. an original man with who's other than himself is the equivalent to a devil who's filthy and a savage and needs to clean himself up to the devil who cleaned himself up. That's what these things are the opposites. But I was going to say since we have a disagreement, I will say that they're all limited to equality at that point. Instead of rising above equality and getting to God, instead of saying opposite, we could just, because the God said Allah don't have no equal, so he don't have no opposite. So
man, that's religion, man. I'm not in no religion, man.
This is what I'm trying to do, God. I'm trying to find an agreement.
No disrespect, God. I'm not in no religion.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you consider us monotheistic or polytheistic?
I mean, that's like a trick question, man. Seriously, man. Seriously, God.
It's not. No, to me, this is what goes to the heart of what we saying.
No.
This is what.
No.
This is what
goes to the heart of
God,
what
we have to make agreements.
Hold on. Wait a minute. This is what I'm saying. When I said we got a language barrier here, right? Mm-hmm. I said, what is the equivalent to original man? You said another original man.
Right.
All right.
Now, you didn't say opposite.
No, I said, what's the equivalent?
Right. What's equal to?
All right. Now look. When you say another original, you don't think it's something a little bit? It can only be one original.
Come on, man.
No, God.
You semanticing me out, God. Come on, man.
No, God. This is what I'm telling you. We got a language barrier here. You saying the semantics and you saying it's trick questions, but I'm saying that it's understanding here involved.
I can't, God. I don't deal with no religion, God.
I'm not.
I'm just gonna tell you, God. When you talking about Allah, ain't no equal to Allah and all that. What's the difference between that and what the Muslims is talking about? I don't do that.
I just asked you a question, right? Now listen, even going according to what you're saying that the only equivalent to the original man is himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so doesn't that mean he doesn't have an equal?
No.
Okay, wait. The only equivalent to the original man is himself. We can agree on that?
Yeah.
So the original man does not have an equivalent.
God, you're making this way more complicated than it needs to be.
I mean, that seems pretty simple to me.
It don't to me.
God, wait a minute.
How many original? It's millions of original men, God. What are you talking about?
What you mean by that?
Okay, yeah.
He's trying to make it a singular aspect. It's not a singular aspect.
What do you mean there's millions of original men?
It is.
I'm saying there ain't how many of us in this nation, God?
I don't know.
Just think about the number. You ain't got to say it out loud. Just ballpark a number in your head. Just think about it. You think we millions? Because we the original man. You see, the people
so
that
you're trying to put it in a singular aspect.
Bro, right? I'm telling you for sure that a 85%er is not the original man. He's not the original man. He's other than his own, he's other than his own self, God.
God,
this is what I'm asking you, Supreme Man, right? In the knowledge degree, right? Why does the knowledge degree apply to all of us?
Because we're the original man.
Yeah, but why does it?
Every black man is the original man,
no,
whether you know it or not.
No, this is what I'm saying though, because the knowledge degree speaks to the singular common aspects that we all have, right? It don't say original man; it says original man.
There you go again.
No, wait. So what about the first part of what I asked? What about the first part of what I said? That when you look at the degrees, it tells you about a singular set of characteristics that applies to all of us. But individually, we have different characteristics that's stronger or weaker than others, right?
Individually or collectively? Like, where are you going with this? Because sometimes you're talking collectively, sometimes you're talking individually. So what are you talking about right now specifically? When you say who's the original man? Listen.
That's another conversation. That's another conversation, Supreme Man. I'm saying first, let's just complete that. Let's just complete
that. All right, say your question again. Say your question again.
The lessons speak about a singular set of characteristics that applies to all of us. But we all have individual characteristics that's stronger or weaker in different aspects of life. Like when you look at the lessons, right, and it says who's the original man, right? How you know they talking about you?
I'm a black man.
Yeah,
it's not rocket science.
Hold up. No, that's just one thing in there, guy.
1 degree.
That's just one thing in there. What about the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father, civilization, and God of the universe?
Now, see, this is what I say about that. You have to build up to that. You don't get all of that. Just like you don't just be God because you're black. You have to study and learn how to be God.
Right.
And those is characteristics that we all can develop.
In the original man, sir.
Oh. Original man, right. Original man.
Any original man.
But we all have certain characteristics that we can develop to a higher or a lesser extent individually, right? In terms of what we make.
You're losing me again.
In terms of what we make, we all got the power to make different things, right?
Different things like what, God? Be specific. What are you talking about?
I mean, some people may have the power to draw pictures. Some people may have the power to make music. Some people may have the power to make electronics. People have different power, right?
Yeah.
And some of that power is who they are. That's just a part of their mindset and how they look at the world and the things that they're curious about, the things that they're drawn to, the particular magnetic in them. Some brothers are particularly attracted to cars and they learn that science. That's something in them, right?
I mean, all that stuff can be developed, God. That's through having access to different things, being around certain people. There's a lot of different aspects.
Yeah, but you can be around all those people, but if you don't have the particular magnetic for it in you, what's going to happen? Because regardless of
you
all
probably
that,
won't develop an affinity for it.
you already don't have an affinity for it.
Oh God, you like, you ain't see Ozarks, but you're talking just like the white man that got killed on Ozark, Jacob. You just talking in parables, God. Just talk. Just say what you mean, God.
I mean, I already said what I mean in so many words, and you still saying you don't.
I don't. Nah.
Every time, God. Every time we get to a certain point, right, where you don't want to give the answer, then you change the subject.
Nah, now cipher, God.
I mean,
I ain't changing no subject. You just brought up like 80 different things.
Okay, so let's just get back to the plain and simple part, right?
Let's go.
The only equivalent of the original man is himself. Right?
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Right.
Okay. So, what is the equivalent of the original man? See, because you said we all black. So when you say we all, right, that's one. So I'm saying, what is the equivalent of the original man?
I still see it the same way. The original man.
Now, hold on, God. What is the equivalent of the original man? Or who is the equivalent of the original man?
Who is the original man? Who is the singular original man that you're speaking about? Who is that?
When you said all of us, hold on. You said when all of us, right, is the original man, right? This all that you speak of has to be one. The refers to one. I'm saying that all that you speak of, what is equivalent of that? Or who?
Why does it have to be a singular aspect? I mean, you're quoting the degree.
No,
right?
God. No,
because it says
stop, God. I'm not quoting the degree. I'm saying what you said. You said all of us is the original man, right?
Yeah, every black man is the original man, without a doubt.
All right. So now, all, that means one. That's one body, right?
Theoretically, yes. Actually, no.
All right. So how's it all if it's what's the actual what's the
because there are many of us. There are billions of us.
God,
how can you said you're talking about a mindset, or you're talking about literally speaking?
All right. Well, look, I'm asking you to explain what you're saying, because you said all. So when you said all, right?
Do you debate the fact that every black man is the original man? Is that what you're saying?
That we talking about in the 1 and 10?
Yo. See, there you go. Now you're being specific. But you wasn't being specific before.
Yeah.
Now you want to be specific to the student in Rome.
Oh God, I've always been being specific, God. I just said before, God, when you said that, I said being a black man is just one thing that it says in that degree.
No, and then I just said, are you talking about the degree? And you said, I'm not talking about the degree. But then you just brought the degree back up. I'm not crazy, guy. I know I just heard you do that.
Okay, so can we just go back to what you said?
What did I say, guys?
You said that every black man is
an original man.
right.
Right.
And
when that degree talks about that degree is talking about.
Hold up. So when you say every, that means all, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. Does all mean one?
I mean, you can say it like that, but no, it's not. See, everything has varying degrees. You don't have to stick with one aspect to explain something. Like when you look at that degree and say, who's the original man? They're not talking about a singular individual. There's no way they could be talking about a singular individual.
Could you explain these levels of all to us?
When you say that, I mean, I can't believe you don't. Well, I'm not going to use the word believe, but it's bewildering. It's bewildering to me that you're even questioning this.
God, I'm asking you to explain the levels of all. That's it.
When you read that degree, who is the original man? This is plain and simple. I don't even know where y'all going with this shit no more. It's not talking about one person, God. It's talking about the original people on the planet. Period. Now you're saying it's a singular nature of all of us. You said Allah is one. That's theoretical, God. That's not literal.
What do you mean?
No. Hold on. That's all good. Let's just accept that. But you still didn't explain the levels of all.
Well, let's not say it's a level of all. Let's say when you quote that degree, that's all inclusive of any original man on the planet Earth. Without a doubt.
I mean, you going back into a whole other. This is not what we're talking about. We've accepted all that. Now, where we at is, what does all mean? Like, we got to every means all. Then when we came to the question of does all mean one, you said it's level.
How do you teach that? How do you teach that degree? I'm very curious to understand how you teach that degree.
I'm asking you, just dealing with the science of what is the levels of all.
Yes, sir.
I just told you that it's not really levels of all. It's when you're dealing with who's the original man, first and foremost, it's you. They're talking about you.
Well, I have a question. What does original mean?
First.
Okay. So a question that was posed to me before is, I'm going to ask you, like, you know, all respectfully, though, this ain't no patronizing question.
It's all good, Lord.
What were you first to do? What
I was first in my cipher to get knowledge of myself.
And your family?
Yeah, the family that live in my house.
That's peace. Yeah. That's peace. That's peace,
But
God.
this is my house. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
this
sir.
is really my kingdom. So yeah.
I understand. Yes, sir. Now, you're the original man. See, that goes for me too. I'm the first person in my family to have knowledge of self. I'm the first person in my entire family.
I can't say that now. I can't
see
say
in
that.
my entire, I'm talking about in my entire, I've been to family reunions. Nobody in my family is a 5%er, except for me. And you know, and my brother, he, you know, he hang around with me, but he hasn't really taken it to himself yet. However, I'm the first one. So like you, I agree, right? So that's what makes us original. There's gotta be a reason to be original. Now, a black man, right, who don't have the knowledge of himself, who don't know the origin of the true and living God or himself in this world, yo, he's not the original man.
I do not agree with that at all.
You gotta have God, you gotta have knowledge. You gotta have knowledge before you original.
Knowledge, you gotta have knowledge to be God.
You gotta have knowledge to be original. It say one before it say original. It say one before it say who is the original man. Knowledge come before all that. Knowledge come before all that, God. The foundation of everything in existence.
You don't even qualify to be God unless you're an original man.
I mean, you don't qualify to be God unless you're an original man who took it from at least the knowledge of the equality.
Well, you're taking it somewhere else. I'm just talking about the basic qualification to say you can even be a 5%er. You gotta be an original man.
I mean, you gotta know all your lessons. You gotta knowledge the equality.
Not to be an original man now, cipher, God. Not to be an original man now, cipher, God.
No, I'm saying to be God.
Now, cipher,
to be God. To be God. To be God, you gotta know your lessons.
God, no disrespect, God. Don't mystify this, God. Don't mystify this, God.
God, before you reach the peak of Mount Everest, you're gonna have to know the equality. The equality is that our rites of passage.
I gotta tell you, you saying that I sound like the dude on the Ozarks, man. And it seems like, you know, listen, man, it seems like I'm having to pull teeth with you to get you to admit that there's no equivalent.
I don't agree with you. And I never said equivalent. I said opposite. I said opposite. Don't put words in my mouth, God. Don't put words in my mouth, God. Don't put words in my mouth, God.
No, God, do knowledge. Where this came from, right, was me saying Allah has no equal. And you said that sounds religious. And so just in the course of me showing and proving what I was saying.
No, that's not what I said, God. I said when you said Allah is one, that's when I said you sound religious. See, you tampering with a lot of energy, God.
Wait a minute. No, God.
You tampering, God.
Yeah, all this is being recorded.
I don't give a damn. I know what I said.
Listen, we you know, this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Either way, this way, however you wanted to say it, that's where it came from. You said it sounds religious. Now, what I'm saying,
when you said the law is one, yeah.
Oh, right. But then when you say, and then when you turn around and say all of us, right? But then it's not really all of us. Which one is religious, God? Like, is it all of us? Is there
listen to me?
Is there somebody, you know, when I say body, I mean, you know, group, you know, some entity that we refer to as the original people.
The original people?
Yeah. Is there one entity, is there one group that fits a common set of description that we call that?
Is there one? I wouldn't say that. It's his original people. Like you talking about characteristics, looks like. What do you mean?
I'm saying that how can they have a name, right? unless there's an entity. That name has to be given in order to identify something. You know what I'm saying? Like when we say table, we can't be talking about 100 different things, or else the idea we would never be able to communicate like that. You understand what I'm saying? We got to be able to, communicate a set of ideas with the words and the sentences that we use to have understanding. So I'm saying that in order to have understanding, when we say the original people, right, there's got to be something that we say, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So let me get this right. So what y'all saying?
Nah, God, why you?
No, listen. I'm trying to cut to the chase. What y'all saying collectively?
There's an agreement here.
Listen, if you don't have knowledge of self, you're not even original.
No, God, listen. You and him is having a different conversation.
Okay.
See, this is what I mean when I say that you go to something else. You know, I'm not overcomplicating things. I'm just asking.
You are. No, you definitely are.
No, I'm asking.
You definitely are.
Wait a minute. To ask you if there's one body of people, if there's one entity that we refer to as the original people. That's
Black people are original people.
Okay, so
is that what you want to hear?
No. I'm asking who's black people?
Yo, man, what is wrong with you, G?
Now, because you
like
no, because when I keep
from the
is hold
from
up.
the yellow is yellow to the black is the black, man.
Okay, but is black people one thing?
I just said from the yellow is yellow to the black is the black. Hell no. Hell no.
So that's not one thing then. So if we see, so how do we know if we see somebody? How do we know that they black? That's what I'm saying. How do we? What's the? I'm not understanding. How do they all fall under that term if they all different things?
If you're not white, you're original person.
I mean, that's good in terms of describing them as what they're not. But I'm saying
what do you mean?
You said if you're not white. I don't need to know what it's not. I'm asking, is that one? You know, why are we calling all of these things that you're talking about, right? Why are they all fitting under this one term? That's what I'm asking.
So you're asking me, why do black people don't use things? Just say the words.
Okay.
But then you take it out of context when you say things.
Let me be a little more specific with my question.
Yes.
You know, when I asked if black people are one body, right? You said no, because you just said it's all different shades. So this is what I'm saying. If they're not one body, right, then why do they all?
But theoretically, you could say one body, but literally they're not. Like, how is that hard to decipher? Like, I don't understand the problem there.
Okay, is your body one thing? Are you Supreme Man? Is your body one unit?
Yes.
Okay, but you got a heart and you got lungs and you kidney.
It's all part of one unit.
Okay. So the different people that you're talking about, right? They all part of one unit that is referred to as black, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That see, we came along, we listened. But we still only halfway there. Now, here's the thing. Is there anything equivalent to that unit?
The unit of my body?
No. The unit that we just was speaking of all the original people.
No.
That's all we saying, guys.
No. But I never said that.
No.
I said the opposite. I said the opposite.
No, God.
I said the opposite, God. You said it's not opposite. I do not agree with that. The opposite of the original people is the grafted people.
Listen, God. This is where we went through all of this to come full circle right there.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that.
No, you said that when I said Allah has no equal, that sounds religious.
Yeah.
Yo, God, you could term it any way you want.
No, we just demonstrated.
I'm not saying that. I don't teach that. I don't teach that, God.
Hold up. But we just demonstrated that that's real.
I don't see it. It's not the same thing to me.
It's not the same.
It's not. You're saying because it's no black people equal to black people, that the law has no equal?
No.
Come on, man. Come on, Jay.
Listen.
Come on, Jay.
Listen. What are you? Wait, how did we get? There's no black people equal to black people. I thought we just said that black people was one unit.
No. When you say, see you are a good wordsmith, but you're not. You can't fool me though. You see what I'm saying? You can't fool me. Listen to what you said. Let me speak for a minute. I'll let you speak for a minute. You said all of the people that are black, what you're really saying is they come under one umbrella as being original people, right? That's what you're saying.
No, actually, that's what you said, and I disagree with you because it has nothing to do with where we started was when I said Allah has no equal, you said that's religious. So
I said it sounds religious.
No,
listen to me.
I just was showing you.
Let me speak. It sounds religious, right? Because religious people say that. I understand what you mean when you say that, but I take it from the perspective of arm, leg, arm, supreme, head. I know you do too. I'm not disqualifying you on that. I'm just telling you I don't teach it like that because I don't want to get it misconstrued. When I deal with Islam, I deal with I self Lord and Master. I'm not saying you don't, God. Don't think I'm saying you don't. I deal with I self Lord and Master because I particularly detest the religion of Islam. Understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that, all I'm saying is I prefer not to verbalize it in that way, but I understand what you mean when you say that. All I'm saying is I don't really say that because it could confuse religious people or people just getting the knowledge because they don't understand how we use Allah.
Yeah, but it's very easy to explain, yeah. Just like
That's true.
you said Allah is arm, leg, arm, supreme head. It's very easy to explain God because look, everybody got arm, leg, arm, head. What makes it Supreme Head?
Knowledge of self and being original.
Something that has no equivalent, God.
This is all I'm saying. Let's go back to the real heart of this. The opposite of God is devil. Y'all said it's not. I'm still saying it is.
Whoa. I said.
Or maybe the God said that. Maybe the God
didn't say that. The God said.
I say God has no opposite.
Right.
That's the same thing as saying the opposite of God is not devil. That's the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm
you
saying
don't
he
agree
said
with
it from
that.
a different angle, though. He said it from a different angle. I said that not only is that not so, but I said that, you know, the original man or one of these, you know, 85er who's just out there, savage, you know, uncivilized, unrighteous, no knowledge of himself, who disregards love, peace, and happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this question, Supreme Man.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite of the original man in the year 7,500 in the Asiatic calendar.
So well, theoretically or literally, depending on what you're asking, there were no destructive evils on the planet then, right?
Right.
So the wicked amongst us were the opposite. Now, the reason why that has no bearing on now, because the devil has been grafted. Why did God make devil? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the devil ain't stopped being grafted.
Where does the devil exist?
The devil exists first in a wicked thought. It has to be lived out. That's why it's black devils. There are black devils. But just like you got to be qualified to be God, you got to be qualified to be a black devil.
So
meaning that you have to know truth, and you become diametrically opposed to that for selfish and wicked ways. Now, if you're an 85%er and you've never been introduced to the truth, you can only be held accountable for what you know.
okay, well, I have another question. Like, is the devil seen and heard everywhere?
Is the devil seen and heard everywhere? See, you're towing the religious line. I just want you to know that.
I'm dealing
you
with
are
degrees.
God. Yeah, okay.
No,
wait a minute.
Listen,
Where did the degrees came from,
degree.
God? Where the degrees came from, God? Where they came from?
Where they came from? I know where they came from. They came from They came from Allah to me. But they from before him it was questions given by Farad, answered by Elijah.
Where did those lessons come from, God? Just answer the question, please.
All them lessons is history. That's information. That's if they come from the Library of Congress, I was told. The information.
Darkim. Where do the lessons come from, Darkim?
He just told you they came from far in Elijah.
Where were they at?
And I was told
they were in the mosque.
That Elijah.
I was looking for the mosque. I was looking for the mosque.
Yeah.
Now, listen. Those lessons are still in the mosque. They ain't go nowhere.
Yeah, they did.
Listen to me, God.
They threw him out.
What happened?
War of Dean threw him in the garbage.
Farrakhan reinstituted them in 1985.
I'm saying, man.
So
God is seen and heard everywhere. God is seen and heard everywhere. The original man, you, me, I'm seen and heard everywhere.
That's part of the positivity of being God, though. Like, just because God is seen and heard. Cut me off, Lord.
Being one. That comes from us being one.
Cut me off, Lord.
Pardon self, God.
Just because God is seen and heard everywhere, don't think that the devil's responsibility is to be seen and heard everywhere. That's not what being righteous is. Like, it's not about an exact replica of it in a negative way. It's not like that. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, you got the knowledge degree, and you got the wisdom degree, right? They are opposites of each other. They are not one and the same.
That's what I'm trying to get clarity on, God, because the knowledge degree says the black man, the original man, at the end of it all, it says he's the God of the universe, okay? And then at the end of it, what the devil's or the colored man description is, he's the grafted devil of the planet Earth. See, the planet Earth is part of the universe.
No doubt.
So how is the planet Earth the opposite of the universe?
Again, you're looking for exact opposites.
I'm saying, God.
You know, when I say the universe, God, you know what I deal with? My family, God. I don't deal with no celestial bodies in that aspect. I know they exist, but that's not essential to me being God, is worrying about anything outside of the atmosphere other than my own universe. That's how I do it. Now, I don't know how other people do it, but that's how I do it. I put all those things in a tangible reality in order for me to be able to live them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about how many rings on Saturn and the temperature on Pluto. It's good information. Don't get me wrong. You're always supposed to learn. But that right there is not my reality of living mathematics that I deal with on a daily basis. I have a lot of information in my head, but truth out of season bears no fruit. And some facts and information are irrelevant to your living manifestation of mathematics. That's why a lot of people in other schools of thought, they get caught up in all of that. Like brother saying, it's an equivalent universe. We're just living out an experience. Oh, if that's true, that's cool. But I don't care about that. I literally don't care about that. I care about what's going on right now, things that I can control, things that I can unite with my brothers on and do better for us right here. I'm not worried about none of that other stuff. You know what I mean? That's how I do mine. I don't know about nobody else. That's how I do mine. I take all of that out and put it in its proper perspective. See, let me tell you one of the things that I teach about what I drew up, rather, about 120 in general. When the Father gave that to those wayward youths that he met, he intellectualized these young men, right? He taught them, he introduced them to geography, biblical history, Quranic history, all of that stuff. You know, you get the point of what I'm saying. This is what this does to you. It's just opening a door. But he made it a discipline. You got to know your lesson. It shows that you have at least, that's the least qualification of being a 5%er is knowing 120 lessons. When I meet a person that knows 120 lessons, I have a respect for them to the fact that they took the time to learn from who's the original man of Pluto. I'm not judging their whole life like, oh, is he a good man? And a lot of times that's not going to happen till mad time later. You know what I'm saying? So we always got to keep this stuff in a working reality. That's why when somebody talk about 23 scientists, that's the 23 chromosomes in your body. That's how I can embody that. Because I ain't seen no 23 scientists. And I ain't looking for no 23 scientists. Now that's peace if it was real. But it's not in my everyday reality, God. Remember, the foundation of Islam in this country was first what they call Mohammedanism, right? Then it went to the Sunni, then the Moors, then the Nation of Islam. So you got a conglomeration of information that seep through all aspects of that. The Father put mathematics and alphabet on it to clear all that up. So we ain't looking for nothing outside ourselves. Everything exists within us. Know what I mean? And that's just that's all I'm saying, y'all. Like, you know, you gotta be able to see that is a lowest level that you can go to. That's how I see that. Why did God make devil? That's the lowest you can go. You know what I mean? Like you said, you asked me that question, Darkim, in the year 7500. It was harder to die. It was harder to see who the devil was because there was no physical manifestation of that. I went through that the first time I went to Asbury Park, I was nervous because everybody was gone. And I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Who's the snake around this mother? Turned out some of the gods, you know what I'm saying, was like that. But I understood why the God made devil once I went to Asbury Park and spent a substantial amount of time there because everybody was coming in the name. And it was very confusing. You know what I'm saying? But we can't distance ourselves from the 85%ers like that. Because we was that.
See, that's what I'm saying. That you know, there is no opposite of God. There's no opposite. There's no equivalent, because if something is equivalent to God, right, then how could it be the Most High?
Because it's the most low. Now, and again, I'm not saying equivalent. I'm saying diametrically opposed. There is a difference to being diametrically opposed and to being equivalent. Equivalent means equal. The root word of equivalent is equal.
Okay, what's the root word of diametric?
It would have to be metric, right? It's a measurement.
Yeah, that's right, a measurement. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to measure the same as 7, man. 6.
It's not. I'm not saying it does, though. That's not what I'm saying, guys.
I mean, I'm just saying that's diametrically opposed. That's what it means.
Diametrically opposed. Opposed. You have to put opposed in there. Because the devil wants to destroy God.
But see, listen, what you just said, by your definition, opposed doesn't mean opposite.
Nah, show and prove that.
Because like you said, you got people that's righteous, you know, in terms of their behavior, in terms of how they treat other people, but they oppose the opposite.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about that. And I'm not really talking about that. No, because the people that I know, when I say that, I'm talking about people who are upstanding individuals. They just don't want to be 5%ers.
Right.
Everybody's listen. Everybody listen. Everybody's not built for this. Everybody's not going to be this. That doesn't disqualify them from being positive individuals.
No, I'm not
this
talking
is
about
the hardest thing.
God do knowledge. Let me specify. Wait. Let me specify what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is that you have religious people, right, who oppose the teachings of the 5%, because that's what their teachings are. It's to oppose any other teaching. But in terms of how they treat other people, those same religious people, they feed the homeless, they give out coat, you know, whatever the case may be. They got literacy programs, all these different things, where that's all righteous behavior, but they oppose.
So what are they then? What's your definition for them?
Exactly what you're saying. They oppose us, God, but they're not the opposite, God. In every way
now,
that
when you say oppose, are they trying to destroy us, or they just don't see what we see? Because that's a big difference.
I'm not saying every 85%er is the opposite.
Do you understand what I just said, though?
Yes, sir.
You understand what I just said? I said, let me just say it again, God, for clarification. Then you can build, God, because I know you've been waiting. Just because a person does not see what you see does not mean that they are trying to destroy you. I know mad people. I can't even count the number of people that I know that will never see it how we see it. But they don't go, they're not going around talking, oh, 5% is garbage and all that. Because of me.
2:00.
And the example that I get.
Okay, this good cop, this good cop explanation is all good, but that's not who I'm talking about.
Yo, I can't with you, man. I can't with you. I can't with you, man.
You tell me about all the other ones. Nah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones who oppose our teachers, right? But we can't say that they unrighteous people.
All right, man. Let the God build, man. I don't know if we could be on the same tour bus, man. We'll never get there. We'll never get there, man.
As long as you're not driving, man.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead, God.
I'm just saying, you know, I'm not saying everybody who fits the category of being the 85% is the opposite. To be honest, I'm more into the agreement where we all agree. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we know where the disagreement is at. You know, the agreement to me is, it's like the God said, it's like a middle ground. It's like there is no opposite to God. Period. Right? Like, because there's no equal type of thing. Like he there's a definition to the word opposite. it doesn't fit the description. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit the definition. You know, so the agreement that we can all find is all the information that we've came to agree on throughout this process. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things we've came to agree on, and the things that we disagree on. Okay, I'm gonna let go of the whole thing, as far as you know.
Me too.
The devil being the opposite, or there being no opposite. I'm off that. My whole thing is there ain't no opposite. There ain't no opposite.
How old are you, God? How old are you?
Understanding knowledge.
I like you, God. You're a wise man. Go ahead, God.
It's that you racist against black people.
Now cipher, God.
You racist against black people, man.
Now cipher, God.
You don't want black people. You don't want black people not to have no equivalent, man. Yo,
I'm with the God. I'm off of this now.
Listen,
I don't even want to build about it no more.
Let's get back in the room. All on the business. D Christian asked, could you repeat the website that you got the information on the Muslim Sun census?
It's called. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Let me see. MSANA.com. MSANA.com / MSA stats dot ASP. So I'm gonna read it again. MSANA.com / MSA stats.asp. Yeah. So that's the, let's show you the year and the population, or the membership, I should say, membership. Because that stuff is just some symbolic stuff, man. Them doctors, or Dr. Fleming or whatever, he picked up on that. He picked up on it from the real people though in Scotland, people on the Scottish Rite. You know what I'm saying? The real people that was the bloodline of the people that really did the 35 to 50 years. God, when you had mentioned that day, we was dealing with the born degree and not the cipher degree. I had did the research, about Muhammad making the devil steady 35 to 50 years, and I found some good info. So it's like, the Shriners out here are definitely not the same ones we read about, as far as, they just do it symbolically, man. All their little ceremonies, it's all symbolic, man. It's not even,
watered down now, huh?
Yeah, it's not even the reality. Like they don't even they all racist, man. They nowadays what's going on, man. They civilization expired. You know what I'm saying? So they just putting up a front at this point. So they nothing to be, to look up to or nothing like that, man. This is like, these people is wild, man.
A couple of my physicals, they join the Masons and all that, and I think they do it. It's like a lot of women, when they get in their 40s, they marry Jesus mentally, and it stagnates them from certain areas of growth, because they don't want to hear anything. The equivalent to that is a lot of men joining the Masons. We used to bomb Masons. We used to go up to the temple and bomb them as for fun. You know what I mean? Just taking them through their signs and really just using the born degree.
Right.
The much maligned G. Kaleem taught me that.
He's much maligned?
You don't think so?
Nah.
I thought you was one of the main maligners of G. Kaleem.
Well, what is malign? What maybe I'm misinformed on what malign means.
Not thought of in a good manner.
No, it's not malign.
Look it up.
With Asiatic mathematics. We got Asiatic mathematics in the room. That's the wordsmith. He deals with all the language stuff. But anybody else in the room got any questions? That's how we got into all of this in the beginning. Questions because we've been going into a lot of degrees up in the 1 and 40. So everybody that whatever degree you want, hopefully you're making progress. Do you have any questions about what you study?
Oh. Darkim.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I sent you a text with the 28 states that have stand your ground, and Georgia is one of them. I don't know if you've seen that text.
Yeah, this dude, the cop guy, I actually watched his video now.
I gotta do the knowledge of that. And also sent you the Illuminati invitation. I sent you 2 of them today.
Yeah, I was watching this video with the dude that was a cop, and he was talking about the things that was going on. And then I saw this other video too on the post. But the cop, that's what he was saying was that, pretty much everybody was in their right. You know what I'm saying? That, in terms of the guys had a right to make the citizens arrests. And then he was like, he said that if Ahmaud Arbery, you know what I'm saying, if he felt that, you know what I'm saying, they was doing this illegally or whatever, then he didn't have any duty to retreat. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time that once they was in the midst of the scuffle, that the dude had the right to use deadly force. So, I guess all those different things like that have come out in the trial. And then I saw this other thing. I saw this video on the Post, in the New York Post, of a guy. He's supposedly inside the house. He's inside the house that's supposed to be burglarized or whatever, I guess. And the dude don't look like Ahmaud Arbery. Like, he got a different haircut and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I don't really want to have to look at the Ahmaud Arbery video again just to see that, but I recall him. He had who making noise? I recall
My fault.
he had like a Caesar. You know what I'm saying? And this dude, he had an afro. You know what I'm saying? Or like some type of like, it looked like he might have been like just starting his dreads off or something.
That's the dude that's standing in front of that property?
He's on the camera inside the building. You know, I don't know if that's the particular video of that day or the video of the past, whatever. But that was the article that I was talking about, where the owners of the actual house that the plane was getting burglarized.
Yeah.
Even they was like, nah, that don't look like the dude. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we don't condone that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's like it's so hard for original man to get a fair shake in that system, man. And then, like I said yesterday, so many loopholes legally. It's just ridiculous, man.
Now, did you hear about the cop that killed the lady in her crib? They raided looking for a dude who was already locked up. Nah, what that happened?
I heard about that.
I didn't hear nothing about that. Starting to be one of the times again, man, where it's something every week, every day.
Yeah. It's a lot of tension, man. It's a lot of tension all around the country. Got to start training people again, man. Just got to go in the park. And, well, we can't even do that now, but when we can, just give the kids some burgers or something. And after they learn their martial arts, I mean, like what y'all doing with the boxing, got to do it. You know, it's also a lack of heart too, though, man. It's a lack of heart, man. From what I see. Did y'all see All in the Business? You in California, I know, but did you see when Yuck Mouth said something about Atlanta and the Atlanta rappers? They try to come at him.
What year was that? That was recently, or you talking about in the past?
That was like the day after the video came out of Aubrey.
Oh, really? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't see Yuck Mouth talking crazy.
Well, it wasn't really crazy. He was just saying, in Atlanta, y'all always borrowing rappers, and it's a no-fly zone. When something like this happened, nobody does or says anything. So then a couple of Atlanta rappers.
But he another person who might not be doing nothing. It's like if you don't have nothing good to say, maybe you shouldn't say anything at all. Especially when it comes to your own people. And you have that many people that watch your program and all that. Even if you feel that way, you shouldn't say that out loud. That's crazy though. Yuck Mouth, he definitely a legend out here. So
I know Yuck Mouth. I spent some time with Yuck Mouth when I was in LA. Mm-hmm. But I think it needs to be said. I mean, some things I can't manifest on the forum that we're on now. Mm-hmm. But it's bewildering to me that all this other stuff go on, then nobody wants to step up where they need to step up. I mean, you could read between the lines of what I'm saying.
Right. You see that other video with them brothers that went out there? and
I
stood
heard
ground
about
on
that
the block
today.
out there.
I heard about that. I didn't see it.
Yeah, they got it. He on Instagram. He videotaped it and all that. They out there. You know, it wasn't like no standoff type of thing, but it could have been real fast.
Mm.
You know, so they was in front of the man's house that was who filmed it.
Right.
So the man that was driving behind the truck with the camera on, yeah, they had a black militia in front of his house telling him, you know, that he got to go to jail. They was citizens arresting.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Yeah, and the police came and took him to jail.
Mm.
Yeah, where's bond? They stood out there with the police, like, look, man, you know, we're not gonna leave until, you know, he come out or, you know, he comes back or whatever. And yo, they got they got him on camera. People, you know, getting locked up and all that. They got it filmed and all that.
Wow.
So
Now
somebody
that's
did do
true.
something. So
Right.
I mean, you know, Yuckmouth spoke too soon.
No. Yuck Mouth did this right after the video came out.
Oh yeah, he's
This was
gotta
a
be
while
sensitive
ago.
to people's parents, man. You gotta be sensitive to their parents. Like, man, somebody like, yo, on the real, like, bro, there's certain things when they happen, like,
He was specifically talking to the rappers though.
I mean, but we already know a lot of them brothers down there be on that, you know. We know how them, yeah, come on, man. We know how, come on, man.
Yeah, no, man. But
Yuckmouth is disturbing. That's a shame, though, man. What happened to that young black man? You know, it's a shame, man. Regardless of whom or what, you know, it's really a shame. And the whole thing is, we got to make some changes, man. Like, you know, every day you got to make changes.
he said, did you see the brothers open carrying, escorting a lady to work in Michigan where devils were protesting against the lock-in? Nah, I didn't see that either, man. I've been out the loop, I guess.
Yeah, me too.
Let me see that, man.
It's so much stuff happening, man. That's what I've been saying. It's like the news within hours is old news, not even days anymore.
I think it's been a lot of stuff happening. They just showing it all right now in one big wave. You know, been crazy stuff going on in this country.
Well, yeah, everybody's like a fake reporter now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't too much pay attention to all that. You know what I'm saying? But so you know, I guess everybody is very scholarly. Everybody on the live is very scholarly. We don't have any questions. All right, Manola Music and Films just came back in. Matter of fact, Manola Music and Films is down in Atlanta.
Manola Music, man. Give us some insight to Brunswick, Georgia, man. I mean, I know about it a little something. I was down there. I want to know about now, though.
Atlanta is real militant right now.
Something got to spark something, man.
He said a lot of armed black militia is out in Brunswick.
I'm looking at it.
Telling you, it's going down.
You know what it you know what the science with this is, man. You know, being able to sustain it. You know, the music and films that at the same time the hustlers got the streets yanking. Hey, man.
I got my TV on and it says the governor of Arizona has opened the door to where pro athletics can be played in his state.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was just a little greed thing, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like now's an opportunity to steal some business, you know what I'm saying?
That's probably going to spread, man.
See what happens. In New York City, they still ain't, some people were saying the 15th, some people were saying that they're gonna start thinking about it in June. So we'll see, man.
I heard in LA they expanded it for 3 more months.
What? Is that true?
Is that true?
Say that again.
This older wisdom I know, she said that they expanded it for 3 more months in Cali.
Yeah, they supposedly to the end of July, which is to the beginning of August. It's extended.
Man,
that's it was reported in the newspaper, but sometimes the internet news feeds be kind of sometimes they be like a spam. But I did see an article about that one of the guys posted. So it said till July. Shit crazy. I think it's they about to try to do this for another 2 years, man.
Jarrell Gordon said he got a question about the 10th degree and the 1 and 14th. What's that? Manolo Music said people here are outside more than anywhere else in the country. Jarrell Boylan said, what are the 4 devils that are being referred to in the 10th degree of the 1 and 14th? It's a beef shortage. It's the chicken. It's the chicken in New York, man. In New York, when you go into the chicken section, it's not looking good.
Well, I saw that in Aldi's, but me and my family, we go to this meat market in Philly. And they don't have no problem.
God Cipher Devon said New York is going to be the last state to fully reopen. This is the hub of the outbreak in the wilderness of North America. So, y'all want to field this question right here for the brother Jarrell Boylan? What are the 4 devils that are being referred to in the 10th degree of the 1 and 14th?
Jealousy, envy, lust, and greed.
Yeah. That's yeah, I agree. That's in a certain world though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like when you're dealing with, associates, dealing with money, business, friendships, loyalty and stuff like that. But I was another, whatever's putting you through that hell, man, like that you doing to yourself, that you making happen, like doing drugs, man, that's a devil. Eating swine. You know what I'm saying? That's the devil, man. It's the devil.
Yeah, and that can fall on the lust and greed.
Right. No, I absolutely agree with that. Lust, greed, jealousy, envy, hatred. Hatred, having hatred in your heart.
What degrees you knowledge, Jarrell Boylan?
God Cipher Devon said the 4 devils are the heads of our own shortcomings and destruction. I agree. It's just that jealousy, envy, lust, and greed. If you define them in totality, a lot of the stuff that you do that's detrimental to you, those are the sources of it. That's how I used to always manifest it. Like, you know, even when you want to hustle, you may start off hustling because you feel that it's your only way to make satisfactory currency. But at some point, you supersede that so-called want and need when you start shining and all that. And you start getting women and cars and jewelry. You know?
I send the inverse polarity in the God degree in the 1 to 14. Which inverse polarity would that be?
Inverse polarity? Why does the devil call up people African?
Yeah, we did find some history about that knowledge cipher degree too, though. I mean, history we found that, you know.
Yeah, that's why I was asking Jarrell Boylan, you know, because you know, when you're looking at these degrees, you know what I'm saying? There's you know, just like it's 9 mathematics, it's 9 breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? And then for every one of those 9 breakdowns is 9 breakdowns. The knowledge is infinite. You see what I'm saying? You know, so which Jarrell Boylan said knowledge, the knowledge, add. And I'm now trying to, all right, so you finished the 1 to 10 and you're starting the 1 to 14 right now. All right.
See, I got the 1 to 36 after the 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, because you know, with the degrees, like, you know, were you asking like, so that answers your question? Matter of fact, let me not put words in your mouth. Does that answer your question? All right. First of all, this is not the God degree in the 1 to 14. This is the equality degree. That's the Muslim lessons.
Oh, for God cipher divine. What is the inverse polarity of why is the devil teach and keep our people illiterate? So he asked, what's the inverse polarity of the God degree, but he meant the equality degree.
I guess.
The inverse polarity.
Yeah, I don't. What's the inverse
I don't know.
polarity? Kareem said the old Earth just told me she bought a deep freezer because of that meat problem. She been buying mad meat now. Yes, it's
That's what we do. I got a deep freezer. I do the same thing.
That's another level of the realness that's going on with this right here. So, you know, if this goes on much longer, it can become a more and more serious issue, you know, which is just another cue to let you know what I'm saying, if you survive this, you know, what steps you got to take.
That's peace, God cipher divine. What's the science on the given on that given the season of wisdom? Will God keep the devil illiterate? Jah data. What's the signs on that? Given the season of wisdom, will God keep the devil illiterate?
I mean, we took everything from them and let them keep their language and made them walk every step of the way over the hot Arabian desert into the caves of West Asia.
Well, if you talk language as being devilishment, but if you talk language as far as speaking, then that's not illiterate. I guess. I don't know.
What I'm saying is, we took from them everything. That's why he went savage. He lost the knowledge of himself.
Right.
That's the ignorance. That's the illiterate. You ignorant because you don't know. You don't know because you lost it. You lost it, and now you live in a beast life.
And again, you have to understand, Elijah Muhammad answered these questions near correct. He had a 3rd grade education. So sometimes you got to add on to it. You can't take it 100% literal all the time. You got to draw it up.
Well, if we dealing with
mathematics and alphabets help you do that. Go ahead, God. Pardon.
I mean, that's like asking, if you can make knowledge born. That's like the knowledge born degree. It's like, would you make knowledge born? When you make knowledge born, now your knowledge is known. It's after that, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody's going, you make knowledge born, you give somebody the warning. Look, don't do this. Don't do this devilishment. This ain't right for you. So no, God is not going to keep that which is doing devilishment illiterate. Nah. But then there's situations where it's like, okay, is you going to tell a devil all your business? You're going to tell him, everything about the ins and outs of the mechanics of how you get things done so he could steal it from you? Like he's done.
But that's the proverbial sword. Pardon me, God, I'm sorry. That's the proverbial sword above your head. Above their head, pardon me.
Yes, sir.
That's not literally having it there. However, it's telling you to be cautious. I used to like to do this, guys. I used to come to the parliament, right? Darkim knows I used to do this because Darkim thought I was from New York. I would go to the parliament in January, right? Meet a brother. So that's the end of January. So during the middle of the week of that month in February, I would go see that brother and walk the land with him and get to know him. You know what I mean? And that's how I built up my trust of individuals to manifest my brotherhood. Because if you just see somebody like every last Sunday of the month, they pretty much on their best godly behavior. You don't know them.
Yeah, it's like church.
You
seen something right one time.
Right. Even with this cipher that we dealing with, I can't wait to come along and walk the land with you. I'm coming too. I want to see you. I want to see what you deal with. As a man and as a brother.
Yes, sir.
Manola Music and Films. Who is the original man? Answer that part first. Who is the original man? Knowledge Born said, every time I hear about Elijah in that 3rd grade education, I think about how he wrote a lot of books.
Now, I'm not dissing him, but I'm just saying sometimes his interpretation of the English language is not, 100 like that. That's just the reality. I'm not dissing his intelligence at all. I'm just saying, like, illiterate don't mean ignorant.
Yeah,
it don't.
Sometimes he spoke symbolically. If you the lessons themselves got history in it.
No doubt.
The lessons got history behind them. But at the same time, Elijah Muhammad, like a lot of the times he spoke in symbolic ways about how things happened and how he saw, just like the question earlier about how he saw, 77 trillion years. It's like the way he saw the universe manifesting, he would tell it in symbolic ways, just like how he talked about how the moon was made. Like, yo, and scientists to today is still coming up with just theories. All they got is theories. He like, yo, a scientist made the moon. Split it from the earth. The earth used to be 50,000 miles in circumference. That's what he said.
Right.
And a lot of them are
right. They verify his stuff now.
Yo,
a lot of stuff
but I'm saying, yeah, I was just watching something on the tube, and it said that the Earth collided with this planet, right, with a real small planet, and created the moon, and also gave the Earth its water.
Can I ask you a question though?
What's that?
Illiterate doesn't mean ignorant?
Yeah.
When I say that, I'm saying,
you asking me,
if you look it up in the dictionary, it's not gonna say that. That's all I'm saying.
What it's gonna say?
Literate means not to be able to read or write.
Well,
I'm saying that's knowledge, right?
I'm just telling you the literal meaning. I'm not gonna get into what you're trying to get into. I'm telling you, when you look it up in the dictionary, God, and all I'm saying is, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying just looking it up in the dictionary, God. You should be able to draw that up. We ain't got to get into no big philosophical debate about that.
Man, it's not philosophical, God. Why everything I don't understand. It's I'm just saying it in the literal sense, right?
If you draw it up, yes. If you draw it up, but I'm just talking about literally. If you draw it up, it makes sense.
There's a difference between means and is, though. You say illiterate means ignorant. Like means is the word that connects these two words.
Not even that, but I'm saying literacy is a type of knowledge. Ignorant means ignorant means you don't know.
But you could be literal. You could have literacy and still be ignorant.
You can. Depends on what the ignorant of what.
Right. I agree. I ain't trying to disagree. I'm just saying, when you look it up in the dictionary, and not saying the dictionary is the highest form of knowledge either, because those are just individuals that collect words. They were not, quote unquote, the definers of all the words. I know what he means by that. I'm just saying. Speaking in like a proper English aspect. I tried to look up interorientation my whole life. I never found it.
I mean, there's another definition for illiterate, though. I mean, there's multiple definitions for all these words.
Right.
So they both correct. Illiterate means ignorant. Illiterate, means to be unable to read or write. But when you unable to read or write, that's a means of being ignorant.
Right.
And
that's
a result.
aspect. It's an aspect of being ignorant. Right.
Yeah, aspect and the result. And the result.
That's already ignorance, because literacy itself is a type of knowledge.
I feel you. I'm definitely not trying to say you're wrong. I'm just saying, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's not gonna say that. That's all I'm saying. That's not high science, though. Don't get it twisted. That's not. The dictionary is not high science.
What we got here in the Kareem said, does anybody understand the degree say any man instead of a grafted man? Yeah, mine says any man.
Any man.
I got any.
Yeah, just deal with, see, with Manolo Music and Films, just deal with who is the original man. See, let me ask you a question, Manolo Music and Films. What does who mean?
Y'all 5%ers got me up late, man.
Who means who? He said, like a specific person.
Yeah. Who means which person? You see what I'm saying? You just deal with the question itself. What does who is the original man? What does that mean? Stick with that. See, you gotta remember, y'all debating all this reading and writing stuff, right? Remember, he said he couldn't even speak his own language.
They wasn't talking about English either, right there.
Our chief got a definition here: illiterate, from the Latin illiteratus, meaning unlearned, ignorant, can describe someone unable to read or write, but it can also imply a person that lacks cultural awareness. However, Walt Whitman saw a unique beauty to illiteracy. There is that indescribable freshness and unconsciousness about an illiterate person that humbles and mocks the power of the noblest expressive genius.
That's that ignorance is bliss stuff.
So it's from the illiteratus, meaning unlearned or ignorant.
I stand corrected then, because I looked it up a while ago. It didn't say that. I mean, this was years ago. It ain't say that.
Yeah, a lot of these words, they got you got the meaning, and then you got the usage of a lot of words.
And the etymology of it and all that.
Yeah, the way we use a lot of words is not really according to the, like awful and awesome is really the same root. One leaves you with some awe and one leaves you full of awe. You know what I'm saying? But the way we've come to use it, they mean two different things. They mean the opposite.
Right.
Same thing with terrible and terrific. Terror is the root of both words. But we use them in opposite ways now.
Like a terabyte, that type of terror?
Nah, like terrific and terrible in like a horror movie that, you know, brings fright and terror.
No, I'm talking about the root word.
Not terror.
So you talking about terror, like terror, TERROR?
Yeah, terabyte
Okay.
is TERA.
Right.
So yeah, this one right here, I think we could wrap this up. You know what I mean? Peace to everybody that came out and did the knowledge. Let me see if we left any questions up here. I think we got everybody.
No doubt.
Yeah, I think we got everybody in here for tonight. You know what I'm saying? If not, we'll catch y'all tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that made it this far, do the each one teach one and hit the like button for me. You know, tomorrow we're gonna be on at 5:00. Brother's gonna come on and do a presentation of the ADOS political perspective and how we can use that perspective to improve our situation. On Friday, we got some brothers coming on that you know, they deal with these type of issues of, you know, police harassment, you know what I'm saying, and you know, these unjust arrests. You know, he got an organization that deal with that, so he's going to be coming on to talk about, you know, what could you possibly do to diffuse these situations, and you know, if you or you know somebody in your family or community gets caught up in one of these situations, what steps should you take after that? You know what I'm saying? And we got a brother that's coming on to speak on real estate, and a brother that's coming on to speak on investment. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna finish up the week strong. But at any rate, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 5:00.
Peace to the God. Peace, God.
Peace.
Peace.